Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kodash. I give double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone who rule well, and salutations of much love. The rest of you sincere Aki and pushing the word of truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Azar coming to you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, this factory of perverseness. Another observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. Correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movie scenes to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, These Women Want All the Attention. The image I have on display is from a film I watched recently. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular movie. This movie was released on October 14, 2022. The title of it is Till, as you can see on the movie poster. Directed by Chinonye Chukwu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's basically a film depicting something that happened in the past prior to the civil rights movement. The quick synopsis is Mommy Till became an educator and activist in the civil rights movement after the death of her 14-year-old son, Emmett Till, who in 1955 was beaten severely, shot dead, and thrown into the Tallahatchie River with a 75-pound cotton gin fan tied around his neck with barbed wire by white supremacists for whistling at a white woman while visiting his cousins in Money, Mississippi. Mommy Till insisted that the casket containing her son's body be left open to show the world what they had done to him. The film is told entirely from her perspective. Emmett Till's murder is heard but not shown in the film. Okay, let me just start off by saying I went into this film with open eyes. I saw the featurette before seeing it, and it was by the director Chinonye Chukwu, and she's oh boy, I know some people are gonna get mad at me about this. I know she's from Africa. I forget what particular country or even nation. And I know some people are probably gonna sit back and say, hey, there's a good possibility she's a Jake. I think she's African born though, on the continent. I don't think she was really born over here. But basically, I was disappointed in the film regardless. I knew going into it by watching the featurette that they weren't going to show what Emmett Till went through before his actual murder and before he was actually deceased. And I think that kind of took away from the film because, just like they said, they were kind of concentrating on more on his mother. And to be honest with you, I'm not really too familiar with her history. Of course, I'm familiar with the actual event. But I really feel as I was watching this that they were really taken away from what happened to Emmett Till, and I actually were trying to focus more on her. And maybe just the execution wasn't what I expected. Really, I was walking in ready to get my spirit roused up. I've been watching movies like 12 Years a Slave and Django and things like Roots and so forth, and like Drum and Mandingo and things of that sort. Other like slave films and other like civil rights movie films. How you get kind of roused up, like what was happening. And I will admit there were some things that that she went through that was kind of racist and so forth. But hey, that's part of being a Jake. It's part of the curses. But it almost seemed like they were trying to focus on how strong she was. And I'm not saying she wasn't, but even by giving that particular name to a woman, it's not really, not really that attractive. So it's almost like they were trying to show that this was, how women of today is supposed to be acting. I will say a lot of women that are dealing with the issues that we have today should act more appropriately. And she really didn't go off. It was just the way it was handled, the way it was portrayed. And the actress, I can't really say anything about her. I mean, attractive Jake's sister, but just the execution, like I said, was just really off. Like I said, it just felt like it just took away from the actual event of what happened with Emmett. And they just put a little focus on her. I mean, she was being driven around in limos and so forth, or cars, or whatever. I shouldn't say limos. and a lot of certain Jake men were around her and giving her advice on what she should do about the situation and so forth, and she would handle it a certain way and things of that sort. And it just, I'm not sure how historically accurate it was, and I'm tempted to look into it myself, but just with today's filmmakers, it just I think it just lost the point. Just watching it, and I would love to hear what other people have to say. I watched one review before I went to go see it, and I thought, I'll be in tune with it. But I guess it was a brother that did a video online, and I thought, maybe it was his first time hearing about this particular event because it wasn't mine, and I was a little shocked, but in a way I really shouldn't be shocked. Okay, a lot of Jakes today, especially these brothers out here, specifically these 2/3, love to give strength unto their women, and the scriptures speak against that. Specifically, Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3, and it reads, "Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings." And the New Living Translation says it even better. "Do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings." Okay. And that's how it just seemed like they had Medgar Evers in the film, and I'm not sure if you know what happened to him, but he eventually was killed, and he was talking to her, and he met her, and I didn't know that. But basically, this particular event kind of started the civil rights movement, and I'm not going to really get into who was behind the civil rights movement, who was behind it, and so forth. I was, like I said, I was really disappointed. But it just shows you how these curses have been with us and are going to be with us until Yahweh Shai returns to the earth to set up his kingdom. Okay. The curses specifically I was thinking about was Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. And when it reads, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand." And you definitely saw this in this film when it came to the authorities getting involved and how they had to blow up the situation. And not saying it didn't need to get blown up. I'm actually glad that it was handled the way it was, as far as I'm talking about the event, not the movie, but as far as them actually showing what her boy looked like and so forth, and how he was discovered and so forth. And you also see in the film how she didn't know where they were, and you know where her son was, and they were waiting to find out, and they just know that he was taken and so forth, and it just showed that she had no might in her hand, as pertaining to Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 32. Okay, but it also showed just how in control she was of what the other men were doing. And I'm not sure, as far as his history is concerned, I'm not sure how much power she had over these men. But in other words, it just showed her just not necessarily bossing around, but she was making the main decisions and so forth, and putting her foot down. And a woman has a right to. I mean, when I say a woman, I should say a parent. What transpires with your child. Okay. And I really would like to see in real life what actually happened. I may have to go look back at some serious footage, because just to see how she handled herself, or how she carried herself. But these women up to today, they've definitely surpassed the man's position. All right, Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 22 backs that up. It just shows that it was a prophecy being fulfilled. And it reads, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man." Okay. And that's what has happened. That's the current state we're in, and it's even worse than it was back then. This particular event happened in 1955. So that was that was 20 years before I was even born. And things have even gotten worse since then. And so that was like 67 years ago. Okay. But the women do rule over us, and we have the oppressor, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, being the one that's oppressing us. Okay. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12 backs it up as well. The book of Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, and it reads, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths." Okay. And let me just say, I guess if this world or this kingdom were to continue, we would probably get more movies like this. We're getting a different narrative of how a particular historical event occurred. And it just shows that we need Yahushua to return ASAP. Okay. But I'm just going to end it on this. I wish I could end it on a good note with some type of silver lining and show that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. There's only going to be a happy ending when, we get into the kingdom and our women are in line and they don't have to worry about the actual curses. And these curses will be placed on our enemies. Okay. Well, I just wanted to share that. I wish I could say, have somebody else to talk about this film. I would like to see, I need to look and see if there's any brothers of the Yakim that made any videos about this and saw the same thing that I saw. Maybe because I'm just a little older and just a little more familiar with the event. But like I said, I do not like the way this was executed. Okay. Well, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.